YouTube, it's your boy, the Memphis Excellent. Welcome back to Check This Out, the show we take a look at whatever deck we want to take a look at and have ourselves a good old time. Today, everybody, we're taking a look at a deck that's new for me, and that is the Ryu-Ge archetype, which is a very small archetype. I feel like there could be like more added to this later on, but we're going to take a look at this trio with the one big boss on it. It's a whole archetype based around something out big level 10 beat stick monsters. And that's what I like about it. It's a very nice, straightforward archetype. It's not so much about the combos and the wombos today. We love doing those, but this is a deck that's all about getting out big beat stick monsters and just attacking the opponent. It's very straightforward in a game that's increasingly becoming all about not being straightforward. So, very refreshing. Very refreshing deck. So we're going to be going into eThief Pro today. We're going to be showing off this deck, showing off the wombos and the one or two combos we got. We got to show off the do's and the not do's, and have ourselves a good old time, something out the red one, the green one, the blue one, the big bossy white one. And that's what we're going to have. So let's head on into it. If you want the whole deck list, it's at the end as usual. But for now, let's go into eThief Pro. Show off what this baby can do. Alrighty, everybody, our first opponent, another day, another card game. We can go first or second with this deck. It really just depends on the hand. The most important thing is right there. That's pretty dang good. We not only have one copy of our big ritual, we have two of them things, which is pretty dang important. Because this guy is to start him up to like all your combos and things. We should be pretty dang set for this opening turn. I also have like Diviner to search this out, so we're pretty set. We're pretty set. So let me show this off. So this is our boss monster. This is a Ryu-Ge Bistva. You put this guy in the pendulum zone, and the whole idea of this dude is that you're trying to activate your ritual, and then you pop it. You're going to activate this effect. You're going to get to search out one of your Ryu-Ge cards. We're going to get the field spell, which is very important to this deck. And this gets popped. This is important because you want him popped in this face-up zone. We can summon him, but more importantly, we got our war zone. When this card gets activated, we take 3 monsters from our deck. We got the red one, the blue one, and the green one. One will go to our hand. We want the red one to the hand. We banish one. We banish the green one. Doesn't really matter as much this part, but you know, we want one in the hand, one in the field, or one in the graveyard, one in the hand. But we're going to use the red one's effect. This is Kaiva. You put him back in the deck, and you get the red spell. What is this? Ooh, magic cylinders. Nice. I love that. Yeah, each of our monsters has a continuous spell associated with it. They all give our monsters additional abilities. Basically, if you have dino domains on the board, your Kiava, I can't remember their names, Kiava will have the ability to negate a monster effect on the field, which is pretty dang useful. We're going to activate that just so we have it. And let's go ahead and use our Warzone's other effect, which is if I have the ritual face up here, I can summon one from the deck, one from the grave, and one banished. Different names, different types, all that good stuff. Summon one of each of these. Now, I will not be able to summon anything except for like dinosaurs and dragons and stuff. But that's okay. What is this doing? I cannot fusion, synchro, exceed, or link summon unless I use that card. Okay. Actually, I can make use of this for next turn, so I'm okay with that. I'm actually low-key fine with that because I have the World Gears Demiurge. A little bit of practice for the 100 days of Yu-Gi-Oh!, which we're going to be coming up in next month. 100 different decks, 100 different days. And I got a request to make a deck around Demiurge. Don't know if it's going to be this one, because when we get into the 100 days, I do want to do this archetype again. But like a little more fancy. Right now we're doing more or less the pure variant of this deck. So I would like to do a more complicated version. I'm going to let that go just so I can show off the deck more. I don't have to, but I'm going to. Oh, even Steven. Alright, even my Steven, why don't you? Alrighty. Well, unfortunately, I can't summon my Xyz monster right now. There's a nice boss in this archetype for the Xyz. Yeah, this guy. Barudris, the final bringer of end times. He's got an Omni Negate to him. That's like the only Omni Negate this deck has, but you know, that's what we have. And we will end our turn for now. I think we're fine. You know? All depends on what my opponent does, and yeah, I could have stopped that with Forbidden Lance. Oh. Liberator Etho. Ooh, what does that do? Pay half your life points. So this card on field, blah, 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 blah. This card is summoning. Well, this card cannot be used as materials. Let's see. Who are you attacking? Attacking my green boy. Let me think about this. I could stop it, but it'd be even better if I allowed this to happen. And because, oh yeah, that's right, because the Mist will activate. Because he destroyed one of these, I get to tribute one off and summon out Mistfa. Let's see, what was the other effect? Destroyed the 2 cards I control. You know what? Thinking about this. Thinking about that. One of these needs to be banished for that part to activate. Nah, I think I'm okay. I really just allowed that to happen so I could see what this guy was trying to do. I mean, I have the Forbidden Lance. If you're curious about this, this is like an imperm thing. I don't want to get impermed by my opponent if I can bloody well help it. So that's what the whole point of that is. Anyway, so now let's summon this thing. 3 level 5 or higher monsters. Let's see, unaffected by monster effects, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. We're pretty set. World Gears Demiurge, baby! Different types and attributes. Oh, right, those are 2 Earths. I can't nuke the board. I'm the Philly person. Okay. That's okay, though. Not locked into anything at the moment. So, what we're gonna do here is activate another Mistfa. Because at this point, I'm not locked into anything, so, like, why the heck not? Let's go ahead, the same sort of dude. Get that monster there. Oh, wait, that was a mistake. That's okay, though. I was supposed to get the field spell again, but that's okay. I messed up that a little bit, but that's okay. Not that big of a deal. Does it do anything else? No, I don't think so. That doesn't do anything. I'm assuming this is another copy of Magic Cylinder, I would assume, but I don't care, so I'm just gonna attack anyway. Soul Strike. So what happens if I lance this? I assume it does what I would expect it to do is be doing nothing. It does nothing with Soul Strike. I love this guy's that he's like, pay the life points, use the Soul Strike. Ballsy strategy. I love it. Absolutely love it. But that's the idea of our deck. Yeah, I made a slight misplay. It is an important thing to note. You need to always have at least one of these dudes in the deck. That's why you like to summon like the red guy out of the deck. That's more often than what you're doing. But I was going to be able to summon out like more monsters. I just didn't need to really. Yeah, but we also have like Demiurge, which if you use the 3 monsters, you can nuke board. You can do that. It just didn't happen this time, but that's okay. So good for first duel. We got to see exactly what our deck is trying to do. That's the main strategy here. It's just summoning out these dudes and like hitting our opponent really hard. Got to keep it nice and straightforward. But let's go ahead for duel number 2. See how more this deck can do. See if we can go first a couple times. Show off that sort of thing. March to it. Alrighty, second opponent. Let's go and do it again. Let our opponent pick. That's fine. Do I go? Oh, we going first. Nice. Ooh. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So, it's a thing to note. You rarely pendulum with this deck because the whole idea is not to pendulum. But there is this funny little scale 11 monster I decided to just throw in here because I bloody well can. So that's what we're going to bloody well do. Let's go ahead and activate. Summon everybody to the board. Alright, so let's summon out Blue Boy here. We'll summon, it doesn't really matter where I put these. I'm just gonna put them on the board. I'll put the crown over here just to have the crown right there. Now, this is going to activate a few things. Because we pendulumed, this is going to go on the bottom of my deck now. Like I said, it doesn't really matter with the pendulum scale. It's like a one-off thing. Just a little funky tech card. But we should be able to start off pretty dang well here. I do need to... oh, yeah, I guess oh, wait, I can do that, can I? Oh, I can summon Demiurge with, like, all of its effects and stuff. Hold on. I mean, the crown's already here, so... yeah. I'm like, I'm sure I never do this, but there you go. World Gears Demiurge. Unaffected by monster effects. Alright, let's go ahead and use Mist as effect. Let's get that bloody field spell. I should also mention Rising, that's just another searcher. Very important to get Mistfa. Without Mistfa, this deck struggles to, like, establish itself. With Mistfa, it works out. Let's go ahead and get our War Zone going, summon out the trio. I know it's an old joke at this point, but yeah, these guys are basically like Kyogre and Reshiram, and Rayquaza and Kyogre is pretty fancy. It's kind of weird that Arceus lookalike is the boss, but then again, Arceus is like the god of Pokemon, so it makes some sense that he is like the boss of this archetype. I'd be curious if that's actually what Konami was going for with this bunch. If like they were trying to make a Pokemon reference, I think they might have. I'll think possibly that if a Pokemon reference. Alright, let's summon out all the boys again. And I'll just let you know, you do want to keep the red boy on the board when we have Dino Domains. There's a nice, the green one spell is really good. It's like a one-sided Macrocosmos, but we don't have that at the moment. But at this point, we do want to have the red boy on the board. So we're going to summon out our other boss monster, which is Varudris. It's got that Omni Negate that I might need in the future. And I should also mention, yeah, what is this guy doing? He has another effect. 2 more cards destroyed this turn, so this card. Yeah, I can put this on the bottom of my deck and pop cards of the number of different monster types on the board. Nice little pop sort of effect. If my opponent doesn't, like, do any monster affecting I need to negate, then it's a nice thing to be able to just, like, you know, pop the spell, or bounce the spell, whatever, pop a couple cards. That's going to be helpful. So let's see what my opponent does here. Interesting question. Yeah. Okay, let me think about this. I kind of want to negate that, but I kind of don't at the same time. Does that make sense? Because I can get another field spell. All this does really is cost me 1 monster effect negate, so I'll deal with it. Ooh, Gladiator Beasts! I love those guys. I can't target you except in the battle phase. Indeed, Gladiator Beasts. Love those guys. You have Bear? No, you don't have Bear. Why are you... Oh no, I'm in defense mode. He's gonna whack me with a Quist. Unfortunately, I am gonna have to stop that. As much as I really love Gladiator Beasts. I know how powerful they are. Let's see. Oh yeah, I can detach another material to pop a card. Why not? I don't trust whatever the set card is. What is this? Oh, it's charge. Okay. Could have been worse. All right. Well, unfortunately, I feel like I beat up an old friend. I love Gladiator Beast so much. You know, it's sad, but it's true. I think we just win right here. It's a bit of a win right here scenario where my opponent didn't have anything to stop this. And I was smart enough not to negate my opponent there. Sometimes you just gotta let your opponent nuke your back row. That's just how it is. So let's Demiurge get a win in here. It's hard enough to summon this guy with all the materials and stuff. But there you go. There's Demiurge doing his thing. So far, so good. Let's go for another duel. Maybe 2. We're going relatively quick. I don't want this to be like a super long video. You know, maybe, 3 for the trio. That sort of thing. So let's go for 1 more. And from there, see where it goes. Alrighty, our third opponent, the fighting third. We get to go first this time? We don't get to pick, but that's okay. That's fine. You know what? We've had a pretty dang good time so far. You know, for the simplicity of this archetype, it actually does pretty good. Awesome. Yep. What are we up against? Time Thieves. Deck of AI. But this is a Time Thief deck. What are you talking about, sir? You're talking about Ignisters? That's an Ignisters. Or maybe it is. Do Ignisters play Time Thieves? I have no idea. I'd like to show you my hand. Oh boy. What do we got? Oh man, he's got like a great hand, don't he? He got Adjuster and everything. This guy summons into Time Thief being oh, he's got a bad hand. Alright, that's unfortunate indeed. So what do we have for our hand? Well, I do have the green spell. That's pretty nice. So what we're going to do to start this off, I think, we're going to activate our Ryu-Ge Rising. We'll get ourselves our Ritual Boy. I can put him right into the extra zone if I need to, but for obvious reasons, I'm not going to do that. For obvious reason, I won't. But first, we're going to go ahead and use both of our monsters' effects now, just so I can do that. We'll get the fields. Well, I keep calling these field spells. They're kind of field spells, but not really. But we're going to get all the spells. We're going to get Sea Spires, which lets me bounce cards as a quick effect. I've got Winds to reduce a monster's attack to Zippo. I've got a lot of stuff, man. I got a lot of good stuff. So let's get that dang old field spell up in here. I should be able... I don't know if I can win route right here, but I can definitely do a honkin' amount of damage. And that's what we want to see. So let's go ahead and get everybody. So to the hand. And yeah, this is, like I said, you want to keep one of these dudes just like in your deck. That's the important part of this. Let's see. Yep. So we'll activate our field spell. Get out one of each of the boys. Get out one of each of these boys. I need a Master Ball or something. Reminds me of my Pokemon rival lock we got. Actually, that's a fun thing. Like later tonight, after this goes up, we are going to be having the finale, hopefully, of our Pokemon Insurgents randomized survival lock thing going on. You know, it's been a long time coming, trying to beat up old Necro, and I could probably win right here with Monster Reborn. That'd be the smart thing to do. But you know what? Let's give this guy... I know it's bad manners to give people chances they don't need, but it don't matter, because I can summon this anyway, because anything getting popped will do that. So, unfortunately, Joker surrenders. Unfortunately, he had a bad hand, and I'm unfortunate that that happened. That happens sometimes, man. You just gotta live with the hands you get. Then again, I had more than enough for game. So, well, let's go for one more, because this has been quick enough. We got time for one more duel, hopefully a short one as well. But let's go ahead for one more. Show more, you know, we've shown off a lot of what this deck can do. I'd like to get into, like, some of the other ranked 10s if possible, so let's see what happens. Alright, everybody, the fourth duel of the day. Let's see. I think it's like Jesus or something. They're like, how do you get a cross and a trademark on there? Kind of weird. Anyway, let's go ahead and go first this time. Let's see what happens. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Let's go ahead and start with our Ryu-Ge Rising. We'll get ourselves our Ritual Boy. It's kind of funny that Ritual Monsters is like... It's like... It doesn't even matter the rituals anymore. You know? Because ritualing is just like... they're not even rituals. It doesn't have a ritual spell or anything to it. He's summoned by his own effect. It's kind of nutty. Alright, let's go ahead and activate our Mistfa here. I'm gonna do something a little different here. I know, shocking. We're gonna go ahead and get the Trap card, which is basically just like summon a monster from the deck. Let's see. The one day I turn off mute. This is like everyone wants to chat, and that's fine. I'm just a very slow typist. Let's go ahead and activate our field spell. Get the trio. And I should be able to get, like, most everything here. I won't be able to get the water one, but I think that's okay. I think that'll be fine. So let's get Dino Dan and a Wormy Winds. And we should be pretty set. So activate the Dino Realms, which I should also mention gives us a slight boost in attack power. Yeah, we got the Worm Winds, which sends any monster from field to grave during the opponent's turn gets banished instead. Man, I mean, that will work on our monsters too, but that shouldn't be an issue. But let's go ahead and get everybody on the board. We'll summon out this. The only thing I need to make sure of is to make sure I not point into any of these. I don't want to get hit with no relinquished anima nonsense. See that? And that'll do it. Yep, there we go. Alrighty, now let's see what our buddy has to say. And I can summon a monster whenever I'd like. I would summon the green one in this instance, because I have rivalry to summon whoever I want. But that would allow me to, you know, if I needed to use this. Well, I'm sorry, my friend, but you forgot to read Wormy Winds. Yeah, Mal? Any monster? Oh, this is for spell traps, but you know what I mean. Alright, so what are we up against? Chaos! The Chaos, indeed. I see. That could be good or bad, depending on how this goes. But the fact that my opponent needs graveyard setup and... Okay, hold on. Alright, it's from the field. I'm silly. I'm silly. It's not from the deck. That still works. Alright. Gonna be a Tracer. Gonna be a Tracer. Gonna be a Terraformer. Playing them good old Kozmo Rokkets. Ooh. Kozmo-Rockets. Which makes sense because Cosmos go into space. So they're like rockets. Kinda sorta like rockets. Alright, so Cosmo Town. How many Cosmos you playing, sir? Just the Un? Interesting. Interesting. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and activate the straps so it stops, like, asking me. I'm gonna use Rivalry here. And that's just gonna let me summon out my green boy. That way I can, you know, reduce a monster's attack if necessary. We have Rocket Tracer. You're gonna pop the field spell. I'm good so far. I'm more curious than anything what this guy's doing to, you know, start negating his stuff. But let's go ahead and summon out Green Man. And you don't want to put these all in attack because they're just like really stacked in attack points. So, you know, keep them in attack, don't put them in defense. That sort of... Omni and 2 monster negates. Let's see. What was the other thing? I can use my trap to recover a spell, but I don't really need to do that right now. So now Cosmotan will go off. You're going to get back the Witch, I would assume, but I do not wish to do so. No, you're going to get Destroyer now. Okay. It's over. I can't get past the Xyz. Oh, I see. Oh, what is this doing? Summon a dark dragon or machine from the hand. Let me see. That's unfortunate. It truly is. Let's see. Destroyer. I'm going ahead and... Oh, you're popping yourself. You know what? Okay. Go ahead. That's fine by me. I'm going to leave the ritual here for now, just in case. Man, I feel... See, this is where I hate playing a card like where... I mean, we play the 1-up because it's part of the archetype, but now my only combo is over. I'm sorry. That... Sure. Sure. Yeah, I'll give this guy a rematch. I mean, we win this duel, but I'm going to give this guy a quick rematch just so we get a chance at what he's actually playing. But I'll see you guys in the end screen. Alright, everybody. So, our Ryu-Ges went 4-0 today. I saved that last replay, though. That was a really good duel. I'm going to show that one off. Because it was that last guy, pretty chill dude. You know, very nice guy. I gotta play without mute more often. There's still good people in Yu-Gi-Oh, damn it. There's still some good people around here. So anyway, we had ourselves a good old time with the Ryu-Ges. Very straightforward deck. It's nice to have a deck that has a lot of power behind it that's not overly reliant on, like, negates and things. I mean, yeah, we have a couple negates. I didn't really need the Ash spots. I could have subbed this out for, like, literally anything. Would it work just the same? You know, we got like the main deck guys got a negate to it. Who else negates in this deck? Yeah, we got like 1, 2, we got like 3 negates in the whole deck. So I would say that that's pretty fine. You know, it's not too much, not too little, that sort of thing. So, yeah, I would say Ryu-Ges look pretty dang good. Even though they're a small archetype, they got a lot of stopping power. And they're just a fun deck to play in regardless. So, thank you very much for watching, everybody. Here's the deck list. And then I'm going to show off that replay because it's just a really good one. So, for the main deck, we play 3 of each of the Ryu-Ges. We have the blue one, the green one, and the red one. I play 1 raw sphere mode as a cheeky little tech. 1 because it's a level 10. 2 because it's a Kaiju-S thing in case we have to break a board. And it's a funny card. It's a 1 golden ball. It's just a 1 golden ball. Oh yeah, we have one other negate. I forgot, but the World Crown is in here. He's very specific. He only negates extra deck monsters effects that get activated. And more often than not, I need Demiurge to like search the darn thing out. But that is another thing we have in the deck. It's also just the body on the board. If my opponent's playing like Link monsters and they happen to be pointing to you, you can just summon this thing out from the hand. Triple Ash Blossom, which honestly you don't even really need that much, but if your opponent's rampantly searching, it's fine. Just hit him with 1 Ash Blossom. Go ahead. 3 Diviner of the Herald, because this can dump your Herald in order to search out your ritual because you really need it to get your play started. 3 copies of the Muiza Knight of the Comet General, because he's a good old-fashioned scale 11 monster. I think there's like, are there like scale 13 monsters or something? No. Oh wait, wrong section. Wrong section there. Okay, there's one other thing. But if you have monsters, you can't pendulum summon. So this one's better because it gives you a pendulum summon, and if you draw it, you get additional pendulum summon, which never happens, but it's cool that it happens at that effect. 3 copies of Sosei Ryu-Ge Mistva, because it's our big boss monster, gets all of our plays started, searches the field spells, searches the monsters we need, whatever you need, summons itself out if somebody gets destroyed. He gets to all the effects of the spells. All of the spells will give him an additional effect, so he's just really dang powerful. You know, we got 2 copies of Triple Downs, in case we get Ash Blossom to the like. It's just a couple new draws. We have Terraforming to get the field spell, because that's also very important. Monster Born, just have extra bodies on the board. You never know, you'll need an extra body on the board. 1 called by the Grave, very nice for, again, dealing with hand traps and the like. 2 Forbidden Lance I find is fine. It stops him perm for the most part. And I can also just weaken my opponent's monsters so they just happen to have a monster that's bigger than mine. It doesn't always happen, but if they're just trying to beat over you, this can help. We have 3 copies of our Ryu-Ge Rising because it searches out the ritual again. The more searches you have for this, the better. And it can also just summon a monster from the deck. It requires a little bit of setup here. You got to banish a couple cards. But it's still a nice little thing to get an extra body if you happen to need the darn thing. We have 1 copy each of Sea Spire, Wormwind, and Dino Domains. Sea Spire protects us from being destroyed by battle, and it can also balance a card on the field by returning itself to the bottom of the deck. We have ourselves Wormwinds, which states that monsters have to field to the grave during the opponent's turn, get banished instead, so it's a one-sided sort of macro. It's like a 3/4 the way, to be honest, because it works on our monsters too, but it's only during our opponent's turn. It's a thing. But it also allows me to reduce a monster's attack to 0. And Dino Domains will make all of our monsters get just a little bit bigger, 300 extra attack modes. And then also it's going to make it so we have a monster effect negate. So that's pretty cool. We have our field spell, of course. 3 copies of this at all times. Never play less than 3 of this card. If you're playing the Ryu-Ges, you need this card to do your plays. Because this is going to search out each of your monsters. You got to keep 1 in the hand and put the other 2 either banish zone or the graveyard. You get in the red dude to your hand so you can use his effect. You get the green and the blue set up so you can bring them all on the board. Because so long as you have the Pendulum monster, you can keep bringing out each of these monsters every turn. The only thing you have to remember is that you have to have 1 in the deck, 1 in the grave, 1 in the banish zone. If you mess that up, then things can get a little dicey. But that's what like the pot cards are in here for. And then lastly but not least, we have Ryu-Ge Rivalry, which isn't like an amazing trap or anything. It's literally just summon 1 of the 3 monsters. But sometimes you just need an extra body on the board. There's nothing wrong with that. Plus, it lets you get recovery of your spells and then an additional draw on top of that. So there you go. It's a nice card. As for the extra deck, a lot of little things here. We got things like Herald, which we use for our Diviner. Very important to get the Ritual Monster. We have things at number 77, Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon, Juggernaut Libe. While the field spell locks us into like the worms, the sea serpents, the dinosaurs, past that, when you're not restricted, you want to have things for that. So you got Juggernaut Libe. Pain Gainer, Dora, Gustav, big beat sticks. You have Varu dress it too, because he's like our big main boss monster for popping and negating stuff. We have ourselves number 35 to make our monsters absolutely gargantuan. We have number on the world gods of the closed world. If you just happen to have a bunch of monsters on the board, your opponent's trying to like run you over something unstoppable, you got this little lady. You have Demiurge, the world gears of theological Demiurge. He's like big old honkin' chonkin' link monster, but unaffected by monster effects. It can nuke boards every turn as long as you use like these three as materials. You have things like SP Little Knight to just interrupt your opponent a little bit. Moon of the Closed Heaven, which is in here because I ran out of other ideas to put in the deck, but it's another thing to just clear out a board. And then lastly, we have Al Mirage in case you summon Diviner of the Herald and it gets negated. At least you have something there. Now, as for the side deck, little things here and there. If you find that you need more Kaijuin, more Spear Mode, if you want to just get rid of your opponent's board, Ryu-Ge is always nice. Things like Harpy's Feather Duster, Pot of Avarice, Pot of Acquisitiveness, just for recovering your cards, whether they're in the graveyard or the banished pile, that sort of thing. Another Forbidden Lance if you're getting impermed like all the time. And lastly, there's Opening of the Spirit Gates, which you might be curious why we play this card. But if you look way at the bottom line of text, it does state if you have a level 10 monster, you can add a continuous spell from the grave to the hand. So while you're more often getting these guys back into the deck, if they don't make it back to the deck, it's a nice little card to have. So there you go. So anyway, thank you very much, everybody, for watching today's episode. If you did like it, don't forget the like button. Consider subscribing, all that good jazz. 100 Days of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is, of course, still in the works. If you have any ideas for that, let me know. Leave it in the comments, what have you. Better on the Discord, because YouTube likes to get my comments for some reason. I don't know why. I allow all comments. I still do it. But yeah, let me know if you have any ideas for the 100 Days Yu-Gi-Oh! We're still making up the whole list. Still waiting on the final themed week. We're making a poll on that one. And check out the Pokemon Insurgents Randomizer and all that good live stream. We're going to be doing that later. And having a good time with it, you know? And so I'll leave you guys here. Thanks for watching. And stay tuned. Watch this last duel because it's very interesting.